Good day, myself Anit Vincent, an NSS volunteer from Providence Men's College, here to demonstrate a video on menstrual tools and its impacts on the environment. So first, let's start with the sanitary napkin, the most used tool. A menstrual pad is an absorbent item worn by women in their underwear when menstruating, bleeding after giving birth, recovering from gynecologic surgery, experiencing a miscarriage or abortion, or in any other situation where it is necessary to absorb a flow of blood from the vagina. A menstrual pad is a type of menstrual hygiene product that is worn externally, unlike tampons and menstrual cups, which are worn inside the vagina. Pads are generally changed by being stripped off the pants and panties, taking out the old pad, sticking the new one on the inside of the panties and pulling them back on. Pads are recommended to be changed every 3 to 4 hours to avoid certain bacteria that can fester in blood. This time also may differ depending upon the kind worn, flow, and the time it is worn. Possible health hazards of sanitary napkins. The chemicals used in the making of sanitary napkins can enter your bloodstream and wreak havoc on your health. Here are some potential health hazards of sanitary pads: inflammation in the pelvic region, cancer in the ovaries, damaged immune system, hormonal dysfunction, infertility, malfunctioning of the thyroid, vaginal allergies, rashes and ailments related to the endometrium. Environmental impacts of sanitary pads. Nearly 70% of women living in urban India use sanitary pads. According to Menstrual Health Alliance India, one sanitary pad could take 500 to 800 years to decompose, as the plastic used is non-biodegradable and can lead to health and environmental hazards. The manufacturing of disposable menstrual hygiene products, an almost $6 billion industry, generates a total carbon footprint of about 15 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions annually, according to the United Nations Environment Programme. That is equivalent of burning about 35 million barrels of oil. This is a more eco-friendly alternative to sanitary napkins. This is a cloth pad. Here are a few major benefits of cotton pads. Reduce allergies and thrush. Reusable cotton pads are cost efficient. Reduce risk of toxic shock syndrome. Unlike pads comprised of man-made fibers, cotton organic pads allow the skin to breathe while keeping you dry thanks to an absorbent cellulose core. The softer material also reduces the risk for allergies and skin irritation that can result from the plastic content of standard pads. Let's move on to tampons. What is a tampon? A tampon is a menstrual product designed to absorb blood and vaginal secretions by insertion into the vagina during menstruation. Unlike a pad, it is placed internally inside of the vaginal canal. Once inserted correctly, a tampon is held in place by the vagina and expands as it soaks up menstrual blood. However, in addition to menstrual blood, the tampon also absorbs the vagina's natural lubrication and bacteria, which can change the normal pH, increasing risk of infections from the bacterium Staphylococcus aureus, which can lead to toxic shock syndrome. TSS is a rare but life-threatening infection that requires immediate medical attention. Pros and cons of using tampons. Pros. Comfort. Most women tend to find tampons more comfortable to wear than sanitary pads. Using tampons allows women to stay more active without being worried about them falling out of place. Better hygiene. Most women feel that using tampons makes them feel cleaner. Tampons do not make you overly conscious about your flow. Pads are messier and can smell foul if worn out for too long. Allows swimming. Unlike pads, tampons allow you to swim during your period. They also offer more comfort than pads, so you can play sports and engage in other forms of physical activity. No visibility. A pad can show through your pants, which can be quite embarrassing. With tampons, you will no longer have to fret about those lines. No smell. If you wear your pad for too long, it causes a foul odor. When you wear tampons, you can avoid odor as long as you remove them in time. Wear any underwear. When wearing pads, you need to wear underwear to prevent any potential leakage. With tampons, you can wear whatever underwear and clothes you like. Compacts. Sanitary napkins take up more space in your purse than tampons do. Tampons are easy to keep in the down low, as you can slip in a couple in any pocket or purse. Tampons are also much easier to dispose than pads. Now let's take a look at the cons. Higher risk of toxic shock syndrome. Tampon use may increase the risk of TSS, TSS is caused when strep bacteria develop in the vagina and are absorbed into the bloodstream. The symptoms of TSS include fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, dehydration, muscle pain, etc. In some rare cases, TSS can also prove fatal if not diagnosed at time. However, it is to be noted that the use of tampons does not cause TSS. Difficult to use. Some women avoid tampons and stick to pads as tampons are more difficult to use. Women are hesitant to make switch to tampons as they need to be inserted into the body. It's understandable that they can be scary to some. Not eco-friendly. Polypropylene, the overwrap material of a tampon, is not biodegradable. Some studies show that the chemicals such as pesticides and chlorine are used to bleach the cotton used in tampons. Dioxins are also used during tampon manufacture in small quantities, and although the dioxin content in tampons isn't enough to pose a health risk, it is believed that it can cause inflammation. No way to know when to change. Since the tampon is not visible during usage, it's hard to tell whether you need to change it or not. If you don't realize that your tampon is soaked, it may result in a stain. Residue. It's rare, but tampons can leave a residue in your vagina, resulting in bacterial infections and inflammation. As you pull out the tampon out, it sheds some fiber that will later lead to infections. Now let's take a look at the menstrual cup, the most eco-friendly tool of the menstrual cycle. A menstrual cup is a menstrual hygiene device which is inserted into the vagina during menstruation. Its purpose is to collect menstrual fluid. Menstrual cups are usually made of flexible medical-grade silicone, latex, or a thermoplastic ionomer. They are shaped like a bell with a stem or a ring. How to choose your first menstrual cup? Check your cervix. Your cervix height is probably one of the most important factors that you should consider when choosing a menstrual cup. Determine your flow, firmness of the cup, and go for a good brand. Pros and cons of using a menstrual cup: lower cost and less landfill waste, no embarrassing odor, fewer visits to the drugstore, more time between changes, and easy to use. The cons are more mess, they can be difficult to insert, possible fit problems, they can be hard to remove. This is a pie chart, the result of a survey conducted in our college. 81.1% use sanitary pads, 11.3% use cloth pads, and 7.5% students use menstrual cups. Now, as we know, menstrual cups are more eco-friendly than the other two. Tampons are not used by any students according to the survey. Already time for us to switch from sanitary pads to more eco-friendly alternatives. Thank you.